Hi Violas, we're here to work on the Madison's Christmas excerpt for your seating audition, measure 106 to measure 113. And if you're not sure where to get the music, I'll send it out in an email so you have access to it. So I promise this section is not as hard as it looks. It's really, really easy up until measure 109. Measure 109 is a little challenging, but the good news is after measure 109, it just repeats. Okay, so it's the same material. So it's really not as challenging as you think. So we're going to start step by step, really breaking down measure 109, because I think that's the most challenging. If you already have this and you just want a chance to play through the whole thing with me and just practice, just fast forward to the end of the video and I'll be doing that at the end. But for now, I'm going to be breaking down each section. So starting at measure 109, okay, we're going to go easiest to hardest. So the easiest section of this measure are the last two beats of measure 109. The last two beats are, that's it, just two, open, one. Okay, so let's play that together. Last two beats, ready, go. Again, and same thing, go. Last time, and ready, go. Good. Now we're going to go back to the beginning of the measure and do the next easiest part, which is the very beginning of the measure, the first beat. The first beat is just 4 16th notes. 1, 2, high 3, 4. You can also play open D if you like. Either way, it doesn't matter because we're going on to the D string after. Okay, so let's play that together a few times. Just the first beat of measure 109, those 4 16th notes. Me first. Now you. Together and. Okay, let's play that just a few more times. 1, 2, together and. Last time. Good. Now we have the beginning and the end of measure 109. We just got to worry about the middle. The middle starts on beat 2, and it has 4 notes. 1, low 1, 1, 2. Okay? So if I were to look at it, you can see my fingers. It's 1 on the tape. I know I don't have tapes. 1, low 1 for D sharp, regular 1 for E, and second finger for E sharp or F natural. Okay? Now, if you can play in half position, it is much preferable to play this in half position with second finger on E and then move up. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. We'll do the simplified version. Okay? But if you're more advanced, you're like, oh, half position would be way easier here, Mrs. J. Feel free to do half position, okay, or a different position that works for you. So we're going to work just on that second beat, which is measure 109, first finger. Can you just play those notes with me? First finger, low 1 D sharp, 1 E, F natural / E sharp. Good. Try it again. Low 1, 1, low 2. Again, separate bows. Ready, go. Low 1, 1, low 2. Good. Now we're going to do a little bit faster. Ready, and here you go. Last time, first finger. Good. Now we're going to add the slur. So again, that's 1, low 1, 1, low 2. Now we're going to add it under a slur. Me first, then you. Ready, and now you. Last time together and. Good. So if you played through the video up until now, you can play all of measure 109. Okay? It's just we broke it down into individual chunks. Now we're going to put it all together and get it into context. So we're going to start at the very beginning of the measure, which we already know we can do. It's easy. First finger on the G string, A. Okay, we're going to do it super slow motion. You can just listen once. This is the speed we're going to play it at. 4, E, and A. Same tempo again. 3, E, and A, 4, E, and A. Last time. 3, E, and A, 4, E, and A. Good. So now that we've gotten measure 109, the rest of the measures are really not that challenging, I promise. They're just a little bit hard to get under your fingers. You just have to go over it a few times to get it. The big thing to remember is that we have G sharps, okay? So if you have an open G that's sharped, that means it's going to be right here on the nut. So this is G natural, open. To sharp G, you would have to play a low 2 touching the nut. So that's what G sharp is that happens in measure 107, okay? Now we already know what C sharp is. We played that plenty of times before. That's a high third finger on the G string, okay? If you're an 8th grader or you're not so sure about your C string notes, please do not be afraid to write in your C string notes in measure 108 and then again in measure 112, okay? 2, 2, 1, 3, 3, 2 is fine to write that in. I would not be offended if you wrote that in, okay? Because C string notes are sometimes still a little bit new, so feel free to write those in, okay? So we're going to play from 106 all the way to measure 114. Please, please, please. You can use this to listen. You could use this time to play with me. Whatever you want to do, whatever you think would be best for you. Okay, if you want to use this time to listen, that's fine. So 106, I'm going to play through the entire section at a very slow tempo without the metronome for now. You can use this to listen or to play. 3, E, and A, 4, E, and A. So now I'm going to add a metronome, and we're going to play through that a few times. I'm trying to think of anything else that I could help you with before we just play through the whole thing. 107, which does the same thing later in 111. It's the same thing. Make sure that you're either using half position, which would mean you would start second finger. Slide for now, I guess, which would be first finger starting at 107, then 1 again, then low 1, 1, open, 3 on C string, 2, so 107 would be 1, 1, low 1, 1, open, high 3 on the C string, 2 on the G string, okay? So let's play through that a few more times with the metronome. So if you would like to play along with me, you can. I'm going to make it a little bit slower than that. Can you hear that? So try to hear your part in your head before we start. Da, 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 da. 3 E and a 4 E and a. we'll try it at a faster tempo. Okay, try to hear it in your head, starting 106. 3E and a 4E and a. Okay, so we're going to do it once more at a higher metronome marking. If you're wondering why I'm looking in that direction, it's because some students walked in who think I'm crazy because I'm talking to a camera. This is a practice recording, so I'm not crazy. I'm not talking to myself. I won't put that on screen because then, you know, I haven't. Okay, go ahead, close the door. Yeah. You're like, please stop talking. This is Jay. Okay, we're going to start now at a little bit of a higher tempo. Okay, do your best. Okay. If you perform for me in your seating audition using this tempo, I'd be really happy. This is a good tempo. Doesn't seem that fast, but if you're really steady at this tempo, I'd be happy with that. Okay. Think about your part in your head. One E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. So, I think there might be some people out here who want like a super, super fast version. So I'm going to do one more time. It's a super fast version. If you're like, no, Mrs. J, I do not want that. That's fine. Just rewind and play those other ones over and play with me at a slower tempo. That's totally fine. So this is going to be the last time we do it at a really, really fast tempo, just to see if you want to play along, just for fun. Okay? And to see if Mrs. J messes up, because I probably will. So if you're wondering if you're using a metronome at home, there's a really easy metronome that you can find right on Google. If you Google metronome, it will come up. So you can use a metronome from anywhere with that. If you're looking for a metronome marking, this is 100. The metronome marking I just used was 74. And a really, really slow metronome marking to start at would be 60. But this is 100. Okay, you guys ready? 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. So if you want to redo that or try that again, all you have to do is rewind in the video and you can try that again. I only need one mistake. Oh, no. It's pretty hard. So you do not have to play it at that tempo for your audition, although it probably won't get that fast for the concert. Okay, so the more and more you can get it up to that tempo, the better. Awesome. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or see me in person, and we can help you. I can help you one-on-one, whatever you need. If you are still watching, the code word is orange. Come and see me with that code word, and I will give you a prize.